We shall fight them on the beaches. He will fly you to the moon. Today we're talking to some fascinating people as we celebrate 140 years of the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. And right now we're speaking to a chauffeur of Mr. Frank Sinatra and Winston Churchill. Ladies and gents, this is Mr. Frank Lucas. Frank, thank you so much for coming down this afternoon and speaking with us. We are celebrating 140 years of the Winter Gardens here in Blackpool this year, and we've spoke to a lot of interesting people, but I am really looking forward to speaking to you because in your day, and still are, in your 93rd year, a chauffeur of many, many famous people over the years. But in the years 1950 and 1953, there were two in particular that I would love to hear about right now. Number one, the former Prime Minister, Winston Churchill. Tell us how that came about.
Well, Winston Churchill was staying at the Majestic Hotel in St Anne's, and he had to come to the conference to Winter Gardens. That was back and forth to the Winter Gardens. That was saying on 50, but in 1953, he wasn't actually coming to the conference, only to do a speech. He only came to do it. He flew in with an aeroplane, Squire's Gate. I pulled by the aeroplane, picked him up, came down the promenade with a police escort, two outriders and a motor car, screaming that promenade. It was busy in Blackpool at the time, up to the entrance, and then taken back to the airplane. As we got back to the airplane, I opened the door, the mezzanine door, and I saluted him as such. And he said, "Thank you for driving me," and shook my hand. Winston Churchill.
Amazing.
Anthony Eden was with him. He got out of the limousine and they got into the aeroplane. When I opened the door again to look into the car, there was two great big half-smoked Corona cigars.
Oh my word.
About 6 inches long. They were 12 inches when they start, I believe. And these are about two half, because in the car I had two ashtrays and a button for putting the division up and down, and two cigar lighters. It was a marvellous car, that limousine, that Buick. They were nice cars, they were. Very impressive. Everybody liked it wherever you went.
Yeah.
Really. And that was it. That was Winston Churchill, yes.
That's amazing.
Nice.
So, and he was a nice gentleman?
Well, he was to me, as I say, you know. Yes. We had the division down. It wasn't up the division.
Yeah.
They were talking between themselves, Anthony Eden and Mr. Churchill, Prime Minister as he was. And like I say, yes, they treated me well. Can't be anything better.
Excellent. The next gentleman we're going to speak about, in my humble opinion, is one of the greatest entertainers and vocalists of all time. And again, in 50 and 53, you drove Mr. Frank Sinatra.
Correct, yes.
Just hold that.
And he's my favourite too.
Hang on.
Yeah.
You've just said Mr. Frank Sinatra.
Perfect. Tell us about that and the experience. I mean, how old were you, Frank?
About 25.
So you were 25.
I'm just around 25-ish, yes.
And Frank Sinatra would have been how old in?
God knows, in 1950, I don't remember.
So the peak of his powers, basically.
Yes.
He was like one of the world's biggest stars.
To tell you the truth, I put this, it's been on television with the BBC actually. I said when the artists in America, the careers were all just going down slightly.
Yeah.
And Frank's was going down the same. So they come to play the Palladium. Every American artist wanted to play the Palladium. That was their own thing.
Yeah.
And then when you got to the Palladium, Blackpool, Opera House, Blackpool. That's the best one because we are the biggest theatre.
Definitely.
Was it 3,500?
3,500 people.
I believe so, yes. Well, that's the way you come. You come to Blackpool.
One of the biggest stages in Europe and the world,
Frank did. He stayed at the Clifton promenade there.
Did he?
The post is still there. You'll see the picture of Frank Sinatra in the Evening Gazette. He's pointing up like this, and you'll see me trying to get in the front driving door to get in, seat, to drive off. And they were bouncing on the Buick bumpers and banging on the windows.
So this was just out the front here?
Clifton Hotel.
Wow.
Clifton Hotel.
So people knew you were there, you turned up to pick him up. And it was just...
So this is where the joke comes in about him being mayor of Blackpool. He said, "Oh, they love me this town, don't they?" I said, "Yes, you do." He said, "I'd become mayor, couldn't I?" I said, "Yes, you could, sir."
Yes, he could.
But he couldn't really, because you had to be a councillor.
So you were just telling us...
But that's only a fun joke.
Yeah.
They were good.
So you were just telling us before that obviously with all the fans and Mr. Sinatra's kind of, people, that the next time you picked him up was round the back.
Round the back, at the car park, at the back of the Opera House.
Yeah.
Yes. There are big green doors there where they took scenery in for both theatres, Winter Gardens Theatre and the Opera House Theatre. And there was a car park. It was called Branham Malaloo's car park because there was a car showroom next door to Winter Gardens here. And it's called Branham Malaloo's car showroom. Yes, well, I went round there and like I say, I've said it many times before this, I pulled the car up I saw the show, by the way.
Yeah.
Went and picked the car up.
How was that? How was the show?
Terrific. No doubt about it, yeah. He's good. I liked him. I still do. I've got everything he's got, Max Sinatra.
Yeah.
I pulled the door up, opened my limousine door, and he looked to me at the green door, and he saw a young lady stood there. He says, "Are you waiting for me, honey?" She says, "No, I'm waiting for the driver." It was my missus. So when I got in the car, he said, "Who was that?" I said, "That's my missus."
Did she not jump in with him and just have a little
No,
lift as well?
Hey, she could have. She was a money girl with my missus.
So you got one up on Frank Sinatra, and that's a
did,
story to tell. And obviously, at 25-ish years of age, Frank Sinatra, one of the world's biggest stars. Did you ever get nervous with people like that sat in your car? I mean, or was it just so surreal that you just kind of...
To me, it was just a job.
Yeah.
Obviously, it sounds silly, I know to say, but to me, I was young, the job, my dad said, go and pick so-and-so up at this place, that place. I'd go and pick the person up. All I wanted to do was get home, get my tea and go to pictures. I was picture crazy at the time.
So to mention a few other names, obviously we mentioned Churchill, Sinatra. Who else did you maybe, drive
Anna
around?
Needle. Anna Needle was one of my favourites. Wasn't probably one of the favourites, yes. It was loved, Anna Needle. Maytime in Mayfair films, it were called, at the Princess Cinema on the promenade near Metropole. Yes, I had her time, and then we drove to London overnight. This is one I wanted to explain to you. We drove to London, 8 hours in those days. Matter of fact, I used to carry a jerry can, petrol, in the car, because you couldn't get down in one go. The Buick, doing 12 Martin can. And it was only a shilling a gallon, by the way. So anyway, we go down to L Street, we go to the house, and she says, I've got a flat in London which you can go have a sleep. Because it was overnight, took out. I said, no, I'm going straight back. Not going to go 16 mile that way to come back 16 mile in the morning through traffic. She says, come in the house, come in the kitchen, and she cooked my breakfast for me.
Wow.
That was Anna Needle. So she was nice, was Anna Needle.
That's fascinating. Yeah. So the Winter Gardens here, the Opera House in Blackpool, have seen some great artists perform here. And you were part of it all then, Frank. You were here, you were with them all. Thank you so much for coming down to speak to us. I find
there's many more artists I can tell you about. What about Gordon Richards?
Oh, I tell you what, let's go and have a brew and have a chat about these. Frank, thank you so much for coming down and spending the afternoon
You're
with us.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
Anytime, sir. Anytime you want me. Yes, Gordon Richards. He was the one who used to do this. Come on, Frank, come on.
Super.
I tell this joke, and I shouldn't really tell it about everybody. We've got 5 in the car. There's Gordon Richards, Cliff Richards, Archie Burns, Sid Reese, was it? Sid Reese the name was. Anyway, there's 4 of them. So they're in this race. We're going to Liverpool, Aintree, Liverpool. And I had to laugh at it. I mustn't say it really. It's not a good recording.
Give over, don't be fine, don't worry about it.
They said, who's going to win today? Whose turn is it to win today?
Good stuff, Frank. Frank, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for coming in, mate.
Whose turn is it to win? 4 of them. 4 and 4.
Superb.
That was Gordon Richard. I did many times Gordon Richard, up and down. Yeah, many times. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And George Formby. He was a
Did you
friend.
really?
Yeah. Well, I had all the people that came to the Opera House shows to go to Preston,
Yeah, back and forth.
Ralph Reeder, George Formby, Nat Jackley, Tessie O'Shea, Julian Warris. Well, I can go on for hours.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
Anyway, you finished reading now.
We're done. I think we're done, my friend.
Very good. Thank you very much. I hope it turns out for you, all right?